Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome back to a brand new video going over Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. In today's video, we're going over even more new gameplay for Sword and Shield, and not only that, someone else's article that they did write, which did get to play the first 90 minutes of the game. Very, very lucky people. But of course, if you're excited for today's video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 700 again. Make sure to drop a comment as well with your thoughts and things about everything shown in today's video, and subscribe as well if you're brand new. We do daily Pokemon content. It's completely free. Whilst you're down there, ring that bell as well to get notified whenever we do upload a new video or go live. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting off today's video, we're going over the second half of the gameplay that I did show you in today's earlier video. We got halfway through, and I did say I was going to show the second half right now, which is exactly what we're going to do, and then we're going to go on to the article afterwards. So we did leave the video earlier in the wild area, and obviously Pokemon can run at you and attack you. It seems that like maybe the higher level Pokemon do that. Every single Pokemon seems to have like a sort of I don't know, reaction to seeing you. Some will come and attack you, some will run away, which is really, really cool. It's similar to Let's Go in that aspect, but I believe this is the first town again. I think that thing on the right that we just passed is like where you just do your start battle and stuff. And like I say, this is just the original first town, so this is how big the game is. This is definitely the first town. We've seen this kind of gameplay before, but with the female protagonist. So yeah, this is definitely where you start off. Looks like a very, very much UK town. So this is, I do believe, the shop in the first town. Welcome to our boutique. Anything I can help you find. So this is all about character customization. So we didn't really see any of this earlier. So straight off the bat, we can find all of these different character customizational things at the very, very start. Obviously, we have 2,120 at the start. You usually start off with about 3,000, I do believe. Maybe only start off with 2,000 in this game, and then obviously get 120 for beating the rival, maybe. But really, really cool customization. Obviously, as I said earlier, when you first go into the game, you can actually customize your character in any way you want. It's not just like a normal sprite and then that's it. You can actually choose how your person looks. There's the basics look as well, which is like this on the left here without this obviously t-shirt. But you can actually change your hair color and everything at the very, very start. I don't know how basic that is, but we've never been able to do that. We've never been able to fully customize your character before we even begin the journey, which is so, so cool in my opinion. And it just makes you look more like, it makes your trainer look more like you at the very start. So all of these different character customization options. Now then, what kind of look did you want today? I think this is kind of the hairdressers, the hair cutting section of it. It is, so you can get Caesar cut, the medium and wavy, braid, side part. And as said in the article we went over yesterday, a lot more character customizational options will become available to you as you play through the game. So these aren't the only ones. Back in the wild area, the online hub, you can see people running around with you. So, so cool. Again, I cannot get over this. It's so, so cool. But look how big it looks. I do believe these are potential friends of the person playing that are just running around because they seem to all be going in the same direction. Again, this is where you start. This is the starting town. I think that's where you live. You can see Butterfrees in the back. You see Wooloo's rolling. Really, really cool. We did kind of see most of this earlier, to be fair. This is more wild area stuff. There's an NPC down there. I don't know what the NPCs do in the wild area. I don't know if you battle them or whatever, because it just seems to be like a massive Savaria zone kind of thing. We've got Stuffle there. A few people in earlier today's video, they were like, is that a new Pokemon? No, it's just Stuffle. Also, there was a Pidove that flew past the screen around 4 minutes in the video earlier today. A lot of people thought that was a new Pokemon. No, it's just a Pidove. If there was a new Pokemon, everyone would know. If it was shown anywhere. But again, we saw this kind of earlier person just kind of going up to this Lapras thing. I don't know if that's kind of like a bit of a shout out to the Galarian Lapras is going to be a thing. I mean, Gigantamax Lapras. We got the same battle with Hop, so we're not going to go over that because we already saw it. More wild area, we saw that in yesterday's video. Again, these are the raid battle things. We have some, I cannot remember its name for the life of me. Wow, Vanillite. There we go. And then we have Snover's there. So this is clearly like the icy place. It's snowing everywhere, so ice type Pokemon are going to pop up. You can find wild Gyarados. As mentioned earlier, you can find really, really high level Pokemon at the very, very start of the game. But obviously challenging them isn't a great idea because you're going to have level 10s and you're not going to be able to catch level 60 unless you get super, super lucky. But the percentage of that is very, very low. So we saw all this already. I think we've pretty much seen all of the gameplay for this video. There's even more gameplay that I want to go over in tomorrow's video. Because like I said, there's been so much gameplay shown to us, but this is pretty much everything we've already seen This is a gym battle, but that is basically that. So that is the gameplay portion of today's video. Next up, I do want to go over Eurogamer's initial thoughts on the first 90 minutes that they played. This is apparently a really, really good one and gives them even more information. So it says, Pokemon Sword and Shield open more or less the same as any other in the series. Wake up in your room, chat with your mum, check the telly for a little Nintendo console reference. You know the story. Right the way through the usual little fetch quest for the professor and battle with your rival. Sword and Shield's opening is a mostly pretty sleepy comfort food affair. There's a little version in there which I won't spoil, but really that's aside, it's business as usual. Some other people that have wrote articles said that there's like a Pokemon that you see at the very start, like a legendary, and there's also a character at the start as well that we don't know about, that they're not allowed to say. Also, in earlier today's video, I was like, why didn't they just evolve their starters? Apparently they weren't allowed to, so that's why no one evolved their starters. Where things do change though is right after that. Not more than an hour or so into Sword and Shield, you'll visit the wild area, and for that spot at least, Pokemon's World finally goes up. So I think this is all about the wild area, so I definitely want to read this because we don't really know a lot about it, and this definitely explains much more than we thought. So the wild area is a large, mostly grassy expanse in the middle of the Galar region's map. In it, Pokemon roam freely on the overworld. They do all in Sword and Shield's long grass areas in a system similar to that of Let's Go. There are now 3 types of encounter: visible, roaming Pokemon you walk into, and traditional random encounters in the long grass, and exclamation mark encounters in long grass that you can either provoke for an encounter with a rarer Pokemon or sneak by to avoid. So a bunch of different ways to encounter Pokemon in these games, which is really, really good because it basically means there's going to be loads of shiny hunting options in this game. And there's like 4 different encounter methods just in the wild area, so that means that there's probably going to be 4 different shiny hunting methods just in the wild area, which is really, really good. The significant difference with the wild area is if you wander into the wrong part of it, you'll discover that the wild Pokemon can now be drastically over leveled. This is what I was just talking about. It's a series first, and it honestly feels like the bravest thing Game Freak has done for a little while. You could always dip your toe into the odd higher level route on the other side of a city, say, but never get caught in a battle with a level 50 third stage Evolutionmon with your starter and a level 6 Pidgey. In Sword and Shield, wait, does that confirm Pidgey for Sword and Shield? I don't know if Pidgey was confirmed Sword and Shield yet. I don't know. Well, it is now. In Sword and Shield, it has a striking effect. It reminds me of some of the oldest games in the series where there was a real element of intimidation from some areas. Back then, this was because of a fear of the unknown, with a spot of imagination filling in the blanks, but now it's because seeing a whopping great Pokemon 5 times your level is enough to intrigue and inspire. I love when games do this, give you a taste of something far off to aim for, or to take care of when you come back. I love muttering something, see you later to a Snorlax I accidentally tussled with that wiped out most of my underpowered team. Like I say, you can battle these really high level Pokemon at the very start of the game, but it's a bad idea because you're going to get destroyed. I love having a glimpse of an unusual place I know I'll be back visiting again for more, or even a glimpse of more powerful moves I could have, with a kind of vendor in the wild area which it seemed I could grind out a dedicated currency for if I really want to, and buy super strong TMs with early on. So basically, in the wild area, there's a different currency. I don't know what it's called. I think it begins with W. I don't know if he's going to go on to say what it is. But basically, there's a currency in the wild area that you can buy TMs with and stuff like that. So I don't know how you get that currency. Maybe by doing raid battles or trading with people. Probably something like that. It's also just generally surprising move away from the spoon-fed simplicity of more recent Pokemon games. It's clear that the team at Game Freak have a real thing for making Pokemon as widely accessible as possible, with developers alluding to younger players not quite knowing where to go or what to do next in the past, and yet the wild area is one large, slightly disorienting mass of land, encountered surprisingly early in the game, and that lets you take one wrong turn into a swath of powerful enemies. That's counteracted though with an updated map. There's now an objective marker on there and a little sentence in the top left reminding you of what to do next. A pleasant quality of life update that's more about modernizing Pokemon as an RPG than dumbing down. Don't worry, and it makes the town map as a much more central part of your adventure than it has been in games gone past. In terms of Pokemon Sword and Shield's challenge itself, it's obviously hard to judge given the slide of game that I played. I can tell you that your first battle with your rival coming straight after you choose your starter, as it always does, sees them have 2 Pokemon instead of 1. It makes little difference. Just use your single damage dealing attack continuously as always and you'll beat them both. And being the very first battle of the game, it's hardly a proper gauge of what's to come, but it's an interesting tweet on the left. So when you do your first battle with Hop, he will have his starter, which is weak to yours, and Wooloo against your 1-star Pokemon. Then it says, wild Pokemon in the very early levels also inflict the odd status effect, and plenty of long grass patches are hard to sidestep entirely. Again, all very early gamer stuff that it's difficult to extract much from, but I did find myself consciously thinking about what I was doing in those early stages, which is more than I can say for Pokemon's more recent RPGs gone by. Coupled with the wild area, there does seem to be some early designs of acceptance from Game Freak that mainline Pokemon games need to keep older, longer-term players engaged too. Away from that, the only other main thing to be taken away from my first hour or two with Sword and Shield is its charm. Pokemon Sun and Moon exemplify this as in the previous generation, and the little moments of characterization in Pokemon have become increasingly important in its wider appeal. Sword and Shield are no different, bringing lovely little touches of British slang, both endearingly accurate telly, that's basically what we call the TV, we say tally, and endearingly less, no, sausage curry, and you look fresher than a mint. You look fresher than a mint. So it's not said in Nottingham where I'm from. You look fresher than a mint. No idea where that's, maybe London, I don't know. As the early game parts of Galar feel like a hybrid of cozy northern homeliness and southern pomp. Pokemon RPGs have lagged behind, blah, blah, blah. That's just talking about random stuff in the past. I'm surprised me far more detail that's been around. It's still coming in Heroes of Breath of the Wild, blah, blah, blah. Basically just saying how big the game is. Character can go a long way, though, and the best example of this within Pokemon themselves, a talk of reused animations from some of the more vocal parts of the fan base, is of course Total Hui, with your starters watching on and fidgeting adorably as you are between choosing them. Pokemon move around the wild with that feels like a little more flourished than the robotic back and forths of wild creatures in Let's Go, and knowing anything about the UK, or at least its more positive stereotypes, means plenty of little in-jokes and characters make for neat, oddly nostalgic touches as you look around. Local wildlife is also rather brilliantly imagined, with what seems like one of the largest suites of new Pokemon. I can't reveal them yet, sadly. So there was a lot of Pokemon at the start of the game that they cannot show us, but they obviously ran into, making plenty of early appearances and doing a wonderful job of reminiscing Britain's somewhat mundane outdoors. With new Pokemon comes new systems, of course, max rate battles, we all know about that. One more interesting is very strong looking Pokemon. If you remember Let's Go, small or large Pokemon, a Pokemon with a barely noticeable yellow glow will appear on very, very rare occasions in the wild. I only saw 2 of them and only in the wild area myself. You'll get a bit of flavor text with the battle starts, nothing their apparent strength. Rather than size though, these have much more useful aspects. Yellow glowing Mon have at least a couple of maximum IVs, the hidden gene-like stats that dictate how good one Machop is, say compared to another, and they have egg moves rather than regular moves too. So basically what that means is you will find in the wild area Pokemon with a yellow glow around them, and they will have egg moves and at least 2 IVs, which are maximum, which is really, really cool. So obviously they will be shiny huntable, and it's a lot more easier to get high-leveled IV Pokemon in the wild area. It could potentially make looking for competitively viable Pokemon far easier and more simulating than the usual breed or catch everything and see and grind. So yeah, that's really, really cool. There's also more fleshed out character customization, eye colors, yeah, we don't know about that. So basically, this article says really, really cool. We've got more about the wild area, and we got a lot more about just how the game is in general. It sounds really, really good. I can't wait to play it. But that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 700. Drop a comment. What are your thoughts of the wild area now we know about this? And also subscribe as well if you're brand new. That's everything from me, though. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.